You are experiencing the Knuckleheads of Liberty podcast.
It is September 3rd, 2025, and welcome to the Knuckleheads of Liberty, where we are bringing you the people and the organizations fighting for liberty around the country and in your region. And today, we're actually got a special show. We mentioned it in the last show that we're going to be talking about the upcoming Constitution Day event that's happening here in Sacramento. It is, I guess, a nationwide event, but here in Sacramento, it's going to be celebrated in a couple of weeks. And so we're going to get into some of that, and we're going to show you where it is, and we've got the organizers here to talk all about it, and we've got stuff from last year. But before we get into any of that, let me introduce you to our panel. So in our lower left-hand corner, we have Leon, the word Brathwaite, last word in Liberty. He is a retired engineer in the state of California. And in our right-hand corner, we got a 2-for-1 here going on. Mark and Michelle Lemay are our guests to tell us all about the Constitution Day event that's going to be happening here and all the work they've done in organizing this one and the last one and what you can look forward to in that. And we're going to share all the details with you with that. But before we do, we always like to start off the show with a quote of the day, and it's a Liberty quote. And this is actually a quote that I saw pop up at the last Constitution Day event. So I thought it was appropriate to bring up, and let me bring up the quote here. So this one is from Benjamin Rush. He is one of the founding fathers. He was a physician, an educator. He was also the treasurer of the Mint. I'm not sure if he was the first one, but he was certainly back in the 1700s. So this was the first one. Yeah, and he was also apparently he was I think he was a surgeon general within the within the colonial army too. That was resisting. That was resisting the Brits. So anyways, this is one of the guys who was there at the beginning, and his quote is, "Freedom can exist only in the society of knowledge. Without learning, men are incapable of knowing their rights." And that's I think that's the whole point of your Constitution Day, is to educate people about their rights and how to be free. So what do you guys think about this quote?
Let our guests go, yes.
Yeah, it's very true. This is where we're at today in our society, because without the learning, men are incapable of knowing their rights, and that is where we are today.
And it's not just the point of the Constitution Day event, but it's for all of the discussion groups that we have here in several counties, Sacramento being one of them. And we'll talk more about the other counties, I'm sure, in a little bit. But that's the quote. I think we're done.
Well, we have a little promo video that shows what the event was, a little bit of footage from the event last year and what's going to be happening this year coming up. So I'm going to play that clip, and then we can jump into some more questions. This will start to give an overview, and then we'll have some actual video too from the event as well that we'll dive into. So here we go.
On Constitution Day 2024, we stood united, celebrating the document that secures our freedom. The U.S. Constitution is our shield, a timeless promise of liberty that demands our understanding. In study groups nationwide, everyday Americans explore its power, learning the rights that make us free. This knowledge fuels courage, turning citizens into guardians of our republic. In 2020, when lockdowns threatened livelihoods, brave business owners fought back. Guided by the Constitution, they kept their businesses alive, proving that freedom prevails when we stand firm. This is the spirit of America, rooted in principle, driven by resolve. Let's honor the Constitution by knowing it, living it, and defending it. Together, we'll ensure liberty shines forever.
So there you go. And that is going to be on September 21st from 12 to 4 out at the VFW Park. And let me bring up the map as well so people can kind of understand where that's at. This is a map of the Sacramento region going up to Folsom. So you can kind of get a better sense there. And as we home in, this is up toward, it's going to be up toward the Folsom area. at 8990 Crudup Way at the VFW Hall up there. So that's where it's going to be. I guess, until I started going to your guys' Constitution discussion group, I didn't even know about Constitution Day, to be honest. So what got you guys so excited about Constitution Day? By the way, we had another interview with you guys a year ago when we talked with you about this, so maybe we're covering a little bit of the same stuff. But what made you guys want to organize this?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because we did want to politely correct you to make the record clear. We aren't the only ones organizing. There is a team of people. And honestly, you could kind of say we're the figureheads. And there's a lot of people being very busy behind the scenes doing a huge amount of work. So they don't want to be on camera. So they're like, hey, you guys do it.
Yeah,
so.
you guys go ahead and do this. We'll just kind of hang back here. But you'll see them at Constitution Day. They'll be around, and you'll see them, some of the videos too that you're going to be seeing coming up too. That's going to be a chance to see the people that are organizing this too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a great bunch of people. They do a fantastic job. It's going to be a great event this year. It's our third annual. So,
Yes.
So we've been doing it for 3 years now, and I think we're getting good at it now.
Yep. Getting better, but just like any event, you learn and you improve. And so, so it's going to be at the Fair Oaks, close to Folsom, but it's going to be at the Fair Oaks VFW. And I guess let's talk about, because Jason had asked why we got into this. And honestly, I'll speak personally, history was not one of my favorite subjects going to school. It just seemed very boring and dry and dull, and it didn't seem to pertain to me. So I thought, well, why bother? Mm-hmm. But yet George here loved history. Mm-hmm.
So, and again, but like you're talking about the
George, you are history.
Yes.
This is how much he loves history.
He dressed up like George Washington. So I'll be the MC this year. So you'll see me like this, and you'll get a chance to actually come and get pictures of. We're gonna have a nice backdrop and everything, so people can get their picture with George and Martha and a couple other characters too. But I didn't even know there was a Constitution Day celebration growing up. We never heard of it. We always heard about the 4th of July.
Right.
Which, again, that is a nonpartisan event too. This is the same thing. This is not a political event. Nope. This is nonpartisan. So there's, this is going to be a bunch of people there, vendors, all kinds of things, food trucks, kids stuff, bounce houses. I mean, all kinds of
music.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a couple of speakers there, that are going to be talking. I mean, one gentleman is going to be doing my farewell address, not the whole thing, but he's going to be doing a little bit of my farewell address that I did when I was all done being president. But again, there's going to be some just educational things, but at the same time, fun things to do too for the whole family from noon until 4 p.m. So you can come there, have some fun, get some food. We're going to have a taco truck and a couple other, food vendors there too. Oh, there's going to be an authentic hot dog stand there.
Authentic.
Yeah, authentic. I mean, you'll see it's an authentic hot dog stand, whichever that is. It's kind of like New York City. But also, if you just want to do the, the more, kind of recent thing, you can go into the VFW hall and you can go in there and get food too. So they got food and drink there that you can go into there. So it's going to be a great event. I can't wait for everybody to see what it's going to be like this year.
Mm-hmm. Mark, what motivated you guys' involvement in this? What caused this? I mean, was there some event, something that happened? What was it?
Yeah, like in 2020, around about March of 2020, something happened that kind of like really took a lot of our freedoms away.
Would you say that it kind of made us roll over in our graves?
Kind of made us roll over in our graves, kind of like, that's not right. And so, it was when we had the mandates, all this kind of stuff that you're seeing on your screen right now. We're just like, this is wrong. There's something extremely wrong about this in a lot of ways, but from a freedom standpoint. But, since I didn't learn the Constitution and all of these freedoms that we do have, I couldn't put my finger on it. And I couldn't voice it. Okay, I knew it was wrong, but I didn't know what to do. And that's where this comes in, because when you understand the different meanings behind these different, I guess you could say, like, governing of our government, the rules the government is supposed to follow, then you understand they're overstepping their actual stated duties that they're supposed to do for us. And they're not protecting our liberties. They're taking them. So that was the impetus for all of this back in 2021. That's when we went to our first Sacramento County CDG Constitutional Study Group.
Right. We heard about Kaylin starting from just a couple of people in her living room, and then it got bigger, and because word of mouth spreads good information, and it started to grow. And now we've got the website that has the 3 different counties that we have discussion groups. And actually Solano County also has an awesome discussion group.
Solano County.
So we've got Sacramento, we've got El Dorado Hills, and we've got the one that we facilitate now in Placer County. The classes that we are currently facilitating is all on the website.
And it's free.
And it's free. And
it's free.
Again, we're going to say nonpartisan again.
Yeah, all nonpartisan. Free.
They always say freedom isn't free, but in this case, on this day,
learning, yes.
Learning is free.
Freedom is going to be free.
Yes.
And it's nice too, because again, this does lead into some of the, we have one action group that is really doing a lot of stuff with one of our members. And again, it is making a difference in helping to correct some of these injustices of our state and federal government.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a step in the right direction, doing the things that we were supposed to do all along, but we didn't know we could do it.
Yeah. And just for those of you, because one of the things that Mark mentioned is that this is not a partisan event. And so, it's important to understand too, the founding fathers, I think it was James Madison, that was concerned that there would be political parties. I think he thought that would be one of the biggest evils if we devolved into political parties. And yet here we are. But beyond that, the issues of the Constitution, they are around us every day. And I just wanted to bring up just a snapshot of a few. And this is just a tiny snapshot. I mean, they're around us every day. But here is an issue where it was in front of the Supreme Court about race admissions at colleges, being unconstitutional to tell people that they're going to tell people who gets in by race. Then, of course, we have the issues with the National Guard being used to police in some of the cities right now. It is a constitutional issue that may be in front of the Supreme Court. We had issue of birthright citizenship is coming up, and there was an amendment to the Constitution. So these things are all relevant, and they're all happening today. The Chevron doctrine, if you're interested in environmental law or what other regulatory agencies are doing, this is key. This is the one that gives so many of those regulatory agencies power to do so much prying into your life, maybe. But regardless of what side you're on that issue, this is why the Constitution is important. So anyways, I just wanted to bring up a few of those so that people could see that. I don't know if there's any other issues that are really hit home. I know certainly, as you mentioned before, the COVID lockdowns, if nothing else, really were front and center in everybody's life just a few years ago.
Well, the COVID lockdowns was probably the granddaddy or the grandmommy of all of our loss of liberties, because once the government takes away our liberties and our freedom, they don't give it back, or even if they do give it back, it's always a bunch of conditions, like we have to beg them for our own constitutional rights. That is a real problem. That in that quote, in the Liberty quote you just put up, Jason, a little while ago, they talk about not learning. Complacency is one of the biggest dangers our constitutional republic face. Okay, it's really a problem. Our citizens just rolled over when the COVID lockdown came. I mean, me, who consider myself a man of the Constitution, just rolled over like there was nothing. And there were some brave soldiers who got out there and fought, which was good. But it is too easy. It has become too easy for the government to think they can take away our rights. but that's because of the complacency of the citizens of this great land.
And it's also interesting you say that, Liam, because again, for those of us who stood up and said anything contrary to that, we were hit very hardly by people telling us how we don't know what we're talking about. You're not an authority. You're not this, you're not that. And it was very challenging to just put the hand up and say, no, that is not true. And here's why. And we met with a lot of resistance on our end. And I bet you did too. And other people out there know exactly what I'm talking about. You were basically very scrutinized and, literally like hated for, saying contrary.
Well, George and Martha Washington certainly know something about standing up for our rights. But at the last Constitution Day that I went to, I met this really cool guy named Mark there, and he had a few interesting things to say about Constitution Day. So I'm going to bring up the interview I did with him so you can get a little more of the vibe of what's happening there at Constitution Day. So here we go. Hi, this is Jason McPhee. I'm here for the Knuckleheads of Liberty. We're here at Constitution Day in Folsom, California. So I'm here with Mark Lemay. He is one of the organizers of the event. Mark, can you tell us a little bit about Constitution Day and what you guys are doing here?
Well, yeah, this is our second annual Constitution Day, and we're here to basically celebrate our Constitution, which is our contract with both our federal government and also with our state governments. And that's sort of back in 1787 is when that occurred. And again, we're just celebrating because we don't see this anymore in our society. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, we never had Constitution Day celebrations. This is like the second one I've ever been at, ever.
Well, certainly the Bill of Rights is the most important, at least to me that seems like one of the most important parts, because that really puts the emphasis that this is about individual liberty. This isn't so much about, what the rights the government is giving us. It's about the fact that the government is there to serve us, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's correct. I mean, it's like the government doesn't give us our rights. The rights are given to us through the Constitution, and guess that came from us, we the people. We the people, we got it from God, and we the people took that, wrote it in a Constitution, and said, okay, government, these are the rules, these are the things that you can do, and these are the things you can't do. And that's what we need to learn, is that we are the ones that are in control.
So Mark, this is your second annual Constitution Day. So how does this compare to the last one, and how is the event going today?
Well, it's going great because we actually have had twice as many vendors here this year. We started out with 12. This year we have 24. We had one food truck last year. Now we have 3 food trucks. Got a bounce house. We've got a whole bunch more people here this year comparatively, and we've been able to get the actual message out to the public better. I mean, we've had different, as far as like getting a lot of like advertising, we've got way more advertising this year than last year, so that's why we've had twice as much this year as compared to last year. So it's growing. Hopefully next year it's getting more than that, and we're really looking forward to this because people are really excited about learning about their constitutional rights, and that's what we're trying to do. This is education, not let's go get together and get all mad. Let's actually learn, and then let's start doing things that'll actually make a difference in our world here today.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what happens next year.
Me too. I can't wait to see next year, but yes, I can tell that each year it's been getting better, and it's going to keep on getting better and better.
Well, that was Mark Lemay. I was a real cool guy. George, if you see him there, give him a high five because he really knows his stuff on the Constitution.
Good job, Mark.
And good job, Jason.
Good job, Jason. Yes. Good interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's high praise coming from George and Martha.
Yes, indeed.
So, as far as things go with Constitution Day, is this part of like a national movement? I mean, are you guys connected with other people who are doing this in other places too, or is it just kind of more of a localized thing right here?
That's a great question. It would be awesome if it were as popular as Veterans Day or, his birthday or, other 4th of July kind of things. That would be awesome, because if it wasn't for the Constitution protecting what God gave us and putting government in a box and not letting it just run rampant, which it is right now, that'd be awesome. But unfortunately, it's just for us, it's just local. And I would hope that there's a lot of other local ones around the country, because it really needs to start at a local level. The founders and the framers of the Constitution really looked to the Bible for a lot of guidance. And they took the whole principle of, starting with this family and then just building, bigger and bigger, this group of 10 and then this group of 100. And so things really need to start at the local level. And somehow that whole idea got inverted, and somehow the government became God. And the government gives us these things or doesn't give us these things. And that's all upside down. And I think in 2020, we all really felt upside down.
Yes, totally agree. Yes.
One of the things I saw when I was there is that you got all kinds of people who are really motivated, who are coming to this thing here in Folsom. And I got to meet quite a few of them last time I was there. And I think maybe it'd be cool just to show everybody some of the people and the good time they were having there that day. So I'm going to show a little bit of a video. And by the way, Michelle is actually doing the interview here in a lot of these cases. So even though you don't see her, it's just the footage with last minute stuff here on the editing. But,
you might see my arm, my blue jacket with the white stars.
Yeah. And you might hear her voice. It sounds suspiciously like Martha's voice.
We both love freedom, and we want to find out, what does freedom mean to these people? Why are they there?
Exactly. So let's go find out.
I am here today to find out what's going on at Constitution Day. So I wanted to find out all of the cool people that were coming out here, why they were coming here, what everybody is so excited about, and quite frankly, it seems like it's a really positive event. Lots of people who are really interested in what's going on with the country right now. So that's why I'm here. I guess I just wanted to find out more and meet some people who are actually doing things to make a difference.
We are here to help the kids learn the Constitution. I think it's very important that they learn about our country's history and what our freedom means. And the freedom, Constitution means freedom to me.
What does the Constitution mean to you?
Freedom.
That's all. So why are you here, and what does the Constitution mean to you?
So I'm here just to let people know what freedom means that we've forgotten about. When we got locked down 4 years ago, or supposedly locked down, people agreed to it and said that this is not what it's all about. We do need to go back to the Constitution and read what it says. We the people. And we need to sit down and read the Constitution. And when we sit down and read, whoa, that's pretty amazing. And it's simplified. It's not so much that we have to have a lawyer sitting next to us. We read it, we can understand it.
Well, we wanted to come out to show our support for the Constitution. It's critically important that we all know the Constitution so we can figure out how to protect our rights and to preserve our freedoms in the country. We all need to learn it.
I'm here to be with my family and just enjoy being with people.
Hopefully it'll protect our freedoms. We need freedom back here in the United States. The Constitution means to me freedom for past generations and the future for my grandchildren. So I'm really intrigued, and I really need to educate myself because I was not educated. So I feel really passionate about learning, educating myself and the members of our community and our county.
Well, we are part of the Solano County Constitution Discussion Group, where we are educating the people of our county to learn the Constitution. And our founders, one of them, Benjamin Rush, said freedom can exist only in the society of knowledge. Without learning, men are incapable of knowing their rights. So we are focused on educating the people in our county, and that is what we represent, and that is our passion, and is because knowledge is power, and speaking truth to power, and taking back our rights.
I am here because I like America as well. I think everybody should love America. This is what gives us the opportunity to flourish, to find happiness, discover it, and then to build it and bless others with our excellence in our lives. My mom imprinted in me a love of America that I never forgot. She would sing to me the patriotic music of America, and to this day, she's now 92, and I just love her for what she gave me and blessed me with. And this Constitution is what will protect people so they can be free.
We have been educators of our form of government, the Constitution, and what it brings to us as a people. We are blessed to have a Constitution that has provided God-given rights to us for limited government.
The Constitution means everything to me. I have to tell you, I'm a byproduct. My father was a naturalized citizen, and I never realized. And I'm a professor now. I teach at American River College, and he was my first student. When he was learning the Pledge of Allegiance and learning to speak English and to read and write, I realize now, decades later, that what an honor it is to be a U.S. citizen and be allowed to vote. He would put on his best suit once he became a citizen and was allowed to vote. So it's what mandates how we should be living our lives in the United States, number one.
I want more people to know about the Constitution. Met some wonderful people. I wouldn't be here without them. Sue and Jack Frost and all the people who've been coming to the Constitution discussion groups. But we're here because we want to show others that people still do value the Constitution. They value liberty, and we want them to be able to know they're not alone in their values. And what does it mean to me? It means just about everything. I get really teary about that because my family, my father instilled in me the love of liberty and the fact that because we are individuals, we all have amazing, amazing gifts. We need to be willing to fight and defend each other and defend the Constitution and the principles that it has for us.
So there you go. Just a lot of awesome people there. And if you go, you can meet a lot of them. And Martha and George as well.
I just want to say something really quick. Kay Lynn Peterson and her husband, David Peterson, have really been they've been the George and Martha, honestly. They should be wearing these outfits. They are the rock and foundation of this whole discussion group of the.
And just so you know, Susan, sorry to interrupt, but if you didn't know that, Kaylin was the last person in that video.
Yeah, yes, that was her.
Go ahead.
Yes. No, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. But, she was getting teary-eyed, and I had a flashback of, growing up and going to sporting events, whether I was, for myself or my brothers, and singing the national anthem, and tears would come to my eyes when I would sing that because it meant something to be an American. And how sad that love of country and, of course, love of God, they go together, has just so eroded. And that's what we want to get back. We want to get back the love of country and the love of God that gave us this amazing country and this amazing form of government.
Yeah, they've been basically trying to push that out of the, society. They're just trying to slowly push it out.
Well, speaking of push, George, we're up on time for public access. So I just wanted to say to anybody who's watching on public access, we're going to keep talking with George and Martha a little bit longer. So, and a little bit about the Constitution discussion group as well. So continue to watch the online at knuckleheadsofliberty.com. Otherwise, back to the show.
Indeed.
So go ahead, George.
No, I'm just saying, it's like this is something that we're seeing today. It's just like there is a concerted effort out there to get rid of things that will lead people towards knowing the truth about their country and their background and all these things, and getting God out of it also. So it's one of those things that we the people, because we're the ones in charge here. We got our marching orders from God. That's where it came from.
Yep.
And then we took that, put it in the Constitution, told our government this is what you can and cannot do, and they're doing all these things that they're not supposed to do. And we need to let them know, stop it. And if you are not going to stop it, this is the consequences of not doing that. And we have that right because we're the ones in charge, not them.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I think a lot of people don't understand, that the Constitution is really a contract between the government and the governed, which is all of us. And the federal government in particular, or the state government too, is essentially doing the same thing. Have been breaking that contract for a very, very long time. I mean, many of us now are feeling like we are on a ship, we are on the Titanic, sailing out to sea, and the iceberg is right out there in the ocean. We can see it. We didn't hit it yet, but it looked like it's getting closer and closer. And we need somebodies to steer us away from that iceberg. We really do.
And they would say in their defense, the government, whether it be state or federal, they would say something like, well, but we changed the contract and we did it the way we're supposed to. And the answer to that would be, if you did it that was contrary to the Constitution at that time, then it is null and void. And that does not stand anymore. So again, they're trying to go around it, but it still stands. This is the original, and you cannot change that unless it is going through the proper channels. And a lot of times this has not gone through the proper channels.
True.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about the Constitution so long now. I almost feel like a lot of people might think this is still kind of abstract. So I'm going to bring up a web page right here. And there's a lot of different web pages you can go to find the Constitution. This is just one I just typed up while we were talking here, but this is the National Constitution Center. And you can just go there, and it's very accessible. And I mean, we talk about this in the Constitution discussion groups, the different aspects of the Constitution and what they mean. But there's nothing to keep you from going there and just reading this stuff yourself. And that's how you become empowered. And, the main part, George, you're the expert. Tell us what the main part of the Constitution is about, and then what all the amendments were about. I mean, you don't have to say all of them, but just in general,
Well, and again, the Constitution is basically broken up into three main parts. I mean, it's for the executive branch. I'm sorry, I should say it's more legislative, the executive, and also the judicial branch. I'm trying not to look at the screen because I should know I was there, okay? But then you have the different amendments, the first 10 amendments.
Cheat sheet.
Yeah. So, and again, it's like, this is something that, it's once, and then we have another like 27 amendments to the Constitution that most people don't even know what they are. And some of those amendments, like the 16th and 17th, especially in 1913, made some major bad changes in our Constitution. So that's where some things went wrong, and a lot of things that have been perpetuated as far as like I'll give an example. Like they say women never had the right to vote. Women had the right to vote from the very get-go. It wasn't until we had some bad actors. I'm talking like I think it was like senators in a state of Ohio who basically almost got voted out of their seat because women were voting against them. And they said, we can't ever have that happen again. So let's get rid of women's right to vote so they can't get rid of me. And so that started to happen in certain states. And they took that right away from women. And then they had to put an amendment in the Constitution to say, you can't do that. Okay, it has to stay. So that was women always had the right to vote. They just got to take it away.
Okay. And so I guess the way the Constitution fixed that is it took it out of the state's hands and made it a federal protection for women to be able to ensure that some bad actor states
never happen again. Yeah. But again, I was taught that women didn't have the right to vote. Are you kidding me? That's not true. So again, there's also a great resource here that I would tell people, it's like, read this. It's kind of thick, but it's The Making of America. It has the original handwritings of the founders telling what they thought about all of these things and how they put the Constitution together and why. I mean, they struggled with all this stuff, but I think they did one of the best jobs you'll ever see, because we are the only country in the entire world that has this form of government, a constitutional republic that is basically directed by laws. We are not directed by men. We're directed by laws, and that is totally different from everybody else out there. We also have things that protect us. That's our, constitutional rights that are written into the Bill of Rights. So we know these things. We have them. A lot of countries, like everybody else, doesn't have what we have. England doesn't, but we took a lot of those things from England. They took the best of all these different societies throughout history and put it all together, which is just brilliant. We do not want to get rid of this document. This is like the most best written document of government ever. And a lot of people from the ages have said the exact same thing. So we do not want to get rid of this. We just want to get back to it. Read it and get back to it.
Well, in case like you're watching this and you're local and you're wondering how you can get involved in some of these constitution groups, or if you're maybe not local and you're saying, man, I kind of be interested in one, but there's none around me. I do have a quick clip from what happens here in Sacramento. And I've been to this one. Even Leon's been to this a few times. Leon's
even Leon? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well, you're not always here. Otherwise, I'm sure we'd go together a lot more. But anyways, let me show you the clip here, and this will just give you a taste of what the Constitution discussion group is like.
This is a really good number of people, and I'm so grateful that you've come out, not only to nullify, but to recognize that a law can be unconstitutional. Tonight, we're doing the 5th in a series.
So there you go. And, a lot of times the classes involve, always going over the preamble of the Constitution, but then talking about some specific aspect. And you wind up learning a lot because, I tell you, this is stuff we should have learned in school, but for so many of us, we hear about just a couple things in the Bill of Rights maybe, and that's about it. And I think they just want to keep us ignorant to most of the rest of it. So.
When our public schools have become agents of propaganda, there's no chance of us learning about the value of the Constitution. Very little chance.
Yes, boy, that is so true. And the other aspect, at least for me, is in school it wasn't fun. But that's something that we've baked into our discussion groups. Is every once in a while we'll have a potluck, we'll have a movie night, we'll have a game night. So we bake in a lot of fun. And honestly, the speakers, the video teachers that we have on these different subjects are all so fascinating. They really make the subject come alive. So,
and the discussions afterwards.
And
too.
then, so we start off saying a prayer, saying the preamble. We watch the video that is somewhere approximately 60 minutes-ish. And then we have a discussion, and it's always lively because it's like watching a movie. You can have 10 people watch the same thing and get 10 different viewpoints, and somebody will pick up something that you missed, and then you'll pick up something that somebody else missed. And it's just very well-rounded, and it's just a lot of fun.
It's kind of like what I think our founders wanted us to have, that kind of learning situation where it's like, I'm not just going to give you this information and then you regurgitate it back to me. It's like, what do you think? You've just learned this stuff. Okay, what did you get from this? And then back and forth. That is basically classic learning style.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as far as the location goes on most of these, I know the Constitution discussion group here in Sacramento is at Epic Bible College on Auburn Boulevard, for those of you who are local. And the other ones, I'm not quite sure where those are at. I haven't been to any of those ones, but but they have a few others in some nearby counties as well. So I'm sure.
And you can find that information on the website. That's the great thing. So the Placer we used to meet at Rayleigh's, but we found a little bit better location that is at the Round Table Pizza, right at the intersection of Douglas and Sierra College Boulevard.
Yep.
They've got a great room that's private for us, so we can watch our videos and not be disturbed, and we can eat some pizza. And
you need some pizza.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
It's kind of a nice deal.
Right. So if you click on that other tab that says Placer and
towards the top, on the right of Sacramento,
if you
click right there.
Yep. So, and this is great for people. They can go there. They can see what kind of topic we're talking about. So we're going over the duty of the jury right now. And it's, I remember thinking, I can't wait to get
Juries.
out of,
Boring.
I dreaded, how can I come up with a legitimate excuse? Now I'm like, yes, get me on there. But I haven't gotten a summons yet. So.
Well, I've gotten it, but again, it's just like, depends upon if you're like a business owner, sometimes you can't leave your business. But at the same time, I can tell you that if you know this information, more than likely you're going to get kicked off the jury. I'm serious. You will get kicked off the jury. They're going to ask you about some of this stuff and you're going to get out. Because again, they are very persnickety about who they want on their juries because they don't want people knowing any of this stuff. They want you to go in there and just do what the court tells you to do. The judge says, here, I'll interpret the law, you interpret the facts, and that's it. I'll tell you what to do. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. So it's totally wrong. So our judicial system here, especially in California, is wrong. They're doing it wrong. They're not doing it the way it's supposed to be set up. And so when you learn this from this course, it kind of makes you a little angry. It's like, wait a second here. I have the power. They don't have the power.
For some people, when they hear you say that this will get you kicked off a jury, they may show up just for that. Forget the pizza.
It will.
We want educated people making good decisions.
Right, because think about it. Have you guys ever seen the classic movie 12 Angry Men? With
I have, yes. I have seen it, yes.
That is those are some of the principles right there. Because again, here was one man who knew something and he turned the other 11 right around because he said, no, this isn't possible. And here's why. But then he took all through. He didn't use these principles so much as he opened their eyes and said, come on, guys, wake up. This person is not guilty.
What about
here's
this?
Why? What about this? What about that? But again, it's like this right here. We should know this because if a person is being unjustly tried by the law and the law is unjust, you are to strike it down. Okay, this is the fourth branch of government right here. People don't know this, but this is your fourth, branch of government here is being able to do that. Is to be able to be on a jury, whether it be a petite jury, which is 12 people, or a grand jury, which is more. You get to have that power. But the judges don't want you to know that. The prosecuting attorney doesn't want you to know that. None of them want you to know this. So I'd highly recommend learning this information. It's amazing. In my opinion, as George Washington, I've never, I'm just amazed at how they put this all together, our founders. It's like amazing what they did.
Yeah. Yeah. And then to look for the El Hills group, I think if you scroll
go down
up,
a little bit further down, there's El Dorado County. I'm sorry.
There is a blue link. You can almost not see it.
Yeah.
It says
El Dorado County in the blue underneath Placer County registration.
Underneath. Oh, here?
Yeah, right there. Click on there.
Okay.
And then
there we go.
That's their page that talks about their group, and they meet at the Rayleigh's meeting room up in El Dorado Hills, and it's got the address for you. And
another great group of people.
Yep. So, and you know what? If you don't have one in your area and would like to, contact any one of us on the website, and we would be happy to help you with that.
Yep. Because we'd like to have one of these in every county of California.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Indeed.
Educated populace.
Yep. Start at the local level.
And as California goes,
I did have a question too. If people are, this is a way people can go and they can, I guess, first connect with everybody, but obviously you can get even a little bit more involved because some of you, quite a few of you actually are involved, as you guys are, in organizing the Constitution Day and other projects as well. So there is more to it than just a social event and learning. You can actually get involved and try and make a difference in other areas as well. So
yes, we do have a group that is very good at that.
And one of the things that I saw again on the video from last year is how we had basically doubled the amount of vendors that were at last year's event. There is still a few more days. So if you are a freedom-loving business owner or manager, there you go. It's right on the screen. Perfect. So there's still some spaces left, still some time to get involved and to meet other liberty-loving people just like you. It's a great community, and you should come be a part of it.
Indeed.
Well, I think we're getting. Leanne, did you have something you were trying to say, or?
No. I'm good. Yes.
Well, I think, this has given everybody a really good snapshot of what goes on. And, we always like to try and end the show on something a little bit lighthearted and funny. And I think this is this one clip here is a good example of how you might sound if you don't understand the Constitution or aren't up on the founding documents. And so I have this little clip here that some of you may have heard before, but it's a great example here. So here we go.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
So don't be that guy.
You know the thing, man. You know the thing.
Oh, ouch. That is so painful.
That is.
Can we end on another positive clip?
Yeah.
Let's go back with the one with Jason and Mark. I think that was really good. Or Caitlin.
Yeah, we haven't done that, but you know what? Let's do that. It'll just add a couple minutes here, but here we go.
Sure.
So for anybody who wants to see that really smart guy over there at the Constitution Day last year, let's hear what he had to say.
Hi, this is Jason McPhee. I'm here for the Knuckleheads of Liberty. We're here at Constitution Day in Folsom, California. So I'm here with Mark Lemay. He is one of the organizers of the event. Mark, can you tell us a little bit about Constitution Day and what you guys are doing here?
Well, yes, this is our second annual Constitution Day, and we're here to basically celebrate our Constitution, which is our contract with both our federal government and also with our state governments. And that's sort of back in 1787 is when that occurred. And again, we're just celebrating because we don't see this anymore in our society. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, we never had Constitution Day celebrations. This is like the second one I've ever been at, ever.
Well, certainly the Bill of Rights is the most important, at least to me that seems like one of the most important parts, because that really puts the emphasis that this is about individual liberty. This isn't so much about, what the rights the government is giving us. It's about the fact that the government is there to serve us, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's correct. I mean, it's like the government doesn't give us our rights. The rights are given to us through the Constitution, and guess that came from us, we the people. We the people, we got it from God, and we the people took that, wrote it in a Constitution, and said, okay, government, these are your rules, these are the things that you can do, and these are the things you can't do. And that's what we need to learn, is that we are the ones that are in control.
So there you go.
Nice.
We're in control. Learn the Constitution, and you will be in control. George, Martha, did you guys have any last thoughts you wanted to share with the audience before we break?
I just really encourage people, please come to this event. You won't regret it. You're going to learn something. You're going to have some fun. You're going to meet some great people. And, it doesn't matter, because people are like, oh, what political party are you? And it's just like, none. Okay, because again, it's just like, our founders did not want us to have political parties. They knew that would fractionate us all over the place. And we just want you to come here and have a good time, and enjoy the liberties of your Constitution of the United States, and of course the Constitution of California, because each state has got a constitution also for a constitutional republic. So please come, and we'd love to see you there. If you can be a part, like a sponsor, or you want to donate, because we take donations there too, because you use that donations for all next year's event that we're going to be having next year for the 4th annual. This one's going to be the 3rd annual, and we are celebrating the 238th birthday of the Constitution.
And if I may say something, Jason, is that going back to your Liberty quote of the day, knowledge is power. And it is vitally important knowledge of the Constitution becomes first in our minds. Because one thing that we must do if we are to survive as a constitutional republic is that we must kill complacency within the citizens of this great land. If we don't, we are lost as a nation. If we don't, we'll be sailing on the Titanic, waiting to hit the iceberg. God help us.
And something, when you talked about knowledge and empowerment, this reminds me of another quote we've had on the show before. It's simple and sweet, and it's one of my favorites, but it was from Frederick Douglass, and he said, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave.
There you go.
That's it in a nutshell right there.
Yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Nice. Time to take action. And if it's just coming to the celebration event, that's a good start.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, Thanks so much, George and Martha, for coming here to enlighten us, and for our viewers out there, thanks so much for watching. And if you're watching before the next show, think about what you can do in your community. There's got to be something that you can do to advance the ball for liberty wherever you are, whether it be starting up maybe a Constitution discussion group, or anything else that's looking to help defend people's liberties. That's what it's all about. Because if we don't stand up, we're going to lose these freedoms, as we kind of saw almost happen during the whole lockdown stuff. So that's just why it's so important. But thanks so much for watching in. Until next time, stay tuned and stay free.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leon.
Thanks so much
Jason.
for having us.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, always and forever.
Thank you for listening to the Knuckleheads of Liberty podcast. Find us on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, your favorite podcast network, and at knuckleheadsofliberty.com.